Aloha and welcome to Wisdom Dialogues with Hope Johnson. Thank you so much for joining. I'm super grateful and blessed for each and every one of you. It's so sweet. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Mm. So we're going all the way, let's say. We're going all the way. And what I mean by that, it's knowing that you are already awake. You're awake. You're directing your energy as you believe it's the most beneficial. You're deciding all the time whether you're going to take thoughts as truth or not. You're deciding all the time whether you are the truth or an illusion. But what doesn't change is you are the truth and you are awake. So you have a choice right now. You have a choice all the time to see the world as if it's put upon you, something that's a burden on you, or as the one who's projecting it, as the one who knows that you're making it up, knows you're making it up. That's always awake in you. You could say, my source is awake. It's just that you don't believe you are that one that's awake. So it seems like you're asleep. And then you get the perception that you're not awake yet. But you only got the perception that you're not awake yet because that's the belief you're projecting. So that's why you're just kidding. You're awake. You're just kidding about being asleep or almost there or almost awake. See, since your choice that you're making is now, even the belief that you were sleeping previously is just a miscreation. You don't need to keep that. You know, one principle of truth, you could say, is that there is nothing that can ever go against God's will. God's will for you is perfect happiness. God's will is that all of creation is loving. That means you're completely unaffected by anything that appears to be unloving. Since it's your perception, since you're making it up, you don't need to pretend like it affects you. Even if you got it in writing, even if you got a video of it, it just didn't happen. There's no way that anything that's not extending love can occur. It's just believing that it can and believing that it has and believing that that has real effects. Only creations of love have real effects. There are no other creations, that's why. It's imaginary, it's dreaming it up. Yes, my love.
A video is just the illusion proving the illusion. It has nothing to do with truth.
Right. Every instant you get the perception that there's lack of love in any form, from you to yourself, from you to another person, from another person to you, from a government to another country. It's all just appearing as you made it. Everything that you perceive starts out as an idea in your mind. So you're invulnerable to those ideas, really. The spirit in you knows that you want to be, truly want to be 100% loving and see only creations that are 100% loving and lovable. And that's where it goes. That's where your perceiving goes. That's where your way of thinking goes. When you're just willing to give up, sacrifice is one way of saying it, anything that hurts you, any fearful thought, just being willing to give it right up. Like, let's say, for instance, you think you have, what I hear today, cervical cancer, and you think you got it from having sex with someone who had it. See the cause and effect there? See the guilty thought, the guilty uh, concept? So it's in recognizing that the effect you perceive, the cervical cancer, its only cause is that you're projecting it now. And that is based on the thought of separation, which is outside of time. The whole world is in time. Whatever happens after the thought of miscreation, separation, you thought you miscreated. But it wasn't a real thought. That's why it has no real effects. That's why this whole world is not a real effect. Because this whole world is an imaginary effect of that thought that you separated, that you miscreated. Okay, I have a fun anonymous. Good job. You just went anonymous. That way I can't say your name on accident. Of course, there's no accidents. Whenever I say anyone's name, it's perfect. It brings up exactly what's necessary. But if you go anonymous, you're just anonymous. Okay, I have been co-creating an unhealthy pattern with an individual in my extended family. What fun. I am clear I want this pattern to end, but I'm not sure how to get out of it and stop creating it. I love this question. This is so fun. Sometimes it seems that maybe the only out would be to leave the environment where they are. Okay, so let's stop right there because that is a really good question to just take a look at. Sometimes it seems that maybe the only out would be to leave the environment where they are. Okay, so this is one way that you offer it to truth just with that question. Whatever serves the Holy Spirit's function. You just let it be whatever it is that serves the Holy Spirit's function. If it means you're leaving the situation, that's the perception you're going to get. Just be as curious as a young child on how the Holy Spirit is going to use this dynamic for healing. See? You just, open up to that. And then it's not up to me. Ooh, oh, I might be leaving this situation. A thought occurred to me like that. Hey, that could be the case. I don't need to plan for it or anything. If planning does arise, it arises on inspiration. I don't need to ruminate. That's one thing, that's just stopping that ruminating by bringing it to a true thought. Oh, whatever the Holy Spirit needs, I'm willing. I'm here. I'm willing. Stay, go, whatever it is. See? Sometimes it seems that maybe the only out would be to leave the environment where they are. They are a drinker. All right. They are a drinker, and when they get drunk, they are loud, obnoxious, and unkind. Okay. So there's a belief here, for one, that drinking has effects. You may be, this is very common for people, harboring a belief that drinking has an effect. I mean, come on. Yeah, you see, it looks like drinking has an effect. That's what it looks like when you look with the ego's lens on the world. That's what it looks like. That's not the case. There's a mental aspect of this that's projecting this meanness. And when you get the sense that you're threatened by this meanness, it projects it more. It wouldn't matter if you left the situation because you're harboring it. You'll just keep on manifesting something that feels similar. It doesn't necessarily have to be alcohol again. You could find yourself getting really adamant that you're not going to hang out with anyone who drinks ever again, but you'll still get that feeling in some way or form because it's a thought, it's an idea being harbored. So, instead of they are loud, obnoxious, and unkind when they get drunk. It's like when they get drunk, this is the effect. No, it's they are calling for love. That's simple. They are calling for love. This is what's being asked in this situation. They need to receive a reflection from you that they have not changed from the Holy Son of God as they were created, as they are created. They cannot be changed from that. That's the reflection that you give. And in being generous enough to give a gift like that, you receive the benefits right away. You don't have to make any substance wrong. In fact, when you do make a substance wrong, it's a projection of guilt. And that ties into their guilty consciousness, which is making them manifest this way in the first place, as if they could be unkind, as if it's not possible. So the reflection becomes they're only helpful. They're only being helpful 100% of the time. As much as I've tried to love them through it and accept them for who they are, their behavior triggers certain behaviors in me that I don't like and I want to change. Okay, so change comes from vision, it comes from seeing truly. Okay, so the wanting to change your own triggers, that's a holy, you could say that's a holy desire. It's a miracle impulse, you could say. That's where your psychic energy is going. It's a miracle impulse. So it's ready for a miracle. So the trigger in you, look at recognizing this person as a part of what you're projecting into the field. And look at this. This is very helpful for me all throughout. Whatever I feel, whatever I feel, that's the feeling that's projecting this manifestation. Think of it in terms of feeling first, manifestation second, instead of the opposite way around, as if it looks as if you perceive something and it makes you feel a certain way. Turn that around in your psyche. So you're recognizing it's my feeling that's projecting this person in this manner and this situation. When you recognize that, that's where you could see how you could relax kind of like beneath the upset feeling, because truly where you are is in an embrace. And so you get to see yourself in that embrace, feel yourself in that embrace, knowing that you're doing the projecting. So you can choose whether you want to maintain this energy that seems to be coming at you, but is really coming from you, or you want to relax your whole body's energy field and just fall into the embrace. That's really, for me, a symbol that it's time for me to be aware of what's holding me and relax into that with the perception. It makes me real easy with perceptions. It makes me feel real easy with perceptions with anyone because I don't get into pushing in my energy field. It's a big yes. Let it in. Let my energy field be transparent and transform everything that seems to be upsetting. Okay? It's just a feeling. As much as I've tried to love them, okay, certain triggers I don't like. This will change your behavior. The effect is changing your behavior. This is true cause and effect. Okay. Okay. Such as I feel shut down in their presence. Yes, this is what I'm talking about. The feeling shut down, you're projecting a feeling first, and then the manifestation comes. That feeling is based on the idea of separation, which is outside of time. This is how you collapse time because now you're not reacting to this energy. Now you're in a state of willingness to embrace this energy. It's an energy that you're projecting. So you get to be transparent with it. Just open up to it. Open up to it. When you actually open up to it and you let go of that pushing, and really the way to let go of the pushing, there's like a pushing energy in the energy field is trying to push it away. Way to let go of the pushing is notice you're pushing out of fear because it seems like this energy is going to somehow hurt you. It's not. You're way bigger than it. It's not going to hurt you. You be transparent to it and you'll feel it and recognize, oh my gosh, it wasn't even anything. It was no thing. And look how it transformed. Certain behaviors I don't like and I want to change, such as I feel shut down in their presence because they don't listen and just end up talking over me. In the drunken state, they always just want to argue. Okay, so in the manifestation of it, when you're relaxing into the sensation that's arising with having this perception, just relaxing in that sensation, anything could come up. You could find yourself taking space at that time. Like, hey, how about this? I got something to do over here, and I'll get back with you maybe another time, or maybe a specific time, or whatever it is. It becomes really easy to basically live in your own innocence. What feels happy for you right now when you can take in what's arising. And what's arising, it's what you're projecting onto your body's energy field. This is a body sense. There's no real body here. See, when we're believing there's a real body here that's not just being projected by our mind, we feel threatened. This is an energy field that you're dealing with here. And it's a projected energy field where you project all your self-condemning thoughts. And that's what you're feeling. Those are really just extrapolations of that thought of separation that's outside of time, though. It's actually the whole cause of time. Okay. I don't want to speak because, okay, they get pissed off really easily no matter what I do or don't do. Wow. This is how I share with people that seem to get really pissed off in front of me, right? Wow, I appreciate the passion that you're showing right now. Tell me more. Because that's how it feels to me. It's like, whoa, that's a big energy. Tell me more. Like, what are you going through right now? Right? So it's not taking on this idea that you actually did something or didn't do something, and it's not arguing with it either. You probably know, I'm guessing, that there's no reason for him to get angry at you ever, except the thought of separation, which makes it a call for love. It's calling for help. He's calling for help. So this is how you help him. You help yourself. You be in your own compassion, in your own compassion. This is who you are. This is yourself. Be in your own compassion for the energy that's arising right now that seems to be fearful to you, but is not one bit fearful because it's only an energy field. You don't have to suffer over an energy arising, an energy that you're projecting, and all energy that you experience, perceive, you're projecting. It doesn't come from outside of you. So you communicate that to him by recognizing it within yourself. Doesn't make you argumentative, right? If you're argumentative, you're still afraid. That's all. It's okay. If you perceive yourself argumentative, just recognize, oh, I'm still afraid. How cute. So this is where them getting pissed off meets peace and it neutralizes the whole thing. See, it neutralizes the whole thing. Don't give anything power over his mind, like alcohol. Don't give that power over his mind. Basically, you're giving something outside of yourself power over your mind when you do that. See that? It all feels so heavy. I know. And you've worked yourself into this heavy feeling, which is a blessing. It's a blessing to know that. Whatever, however heavy the feeling is, you've worked yourself into that feeling by following ideas that resonate with that feeling. So that's a blessing to know that because those are not real effects. These are not layers that you have to get through. It's just a matter of perceiving, and that's a matter of willingness to perceive that these effects aren't true. You're completely free and in the peace of God. You're in a holy embrace right now. That never changed. Diana's cracking up. It's a comedy. It's a comedy over here. Ah, aloha, Kalama. So she says, when we are stuck with a person, so we just change to love. That's right. You're never really stuck with a person. You're stuck with your interpretation of the whole situation. You're interpreting him, yourself, whatever, all these different things. Thoughts come in so much and they tell you about your life. They narrate your life to you. They are full of lies. They are full of self-defeating, self-sabotaging lies. Don't believe them. Don't worry about your relationship with the person. Let it be given to the Holy Spirit's function. When it's given to the Holy Spirit's function, it's always serving you. You know it's always serving you. You think of it as a container for your shared growth or your shared advance toward knowing again. See? You're This is the only reason for relating. So when you see that that's the only reason for it, then that's what you're using it for. See? Yes. Okay. I know you do it quite a bit, and it's great to hear you laugh. Okay. I think she's talking about laughing. Laughter as your yoga. I tried it just now. Very good. I love laughing. Um, when I was a kid, there was a song, I forgot what show it was on, but it would be like, I love to laugh so loud, so long, so clear. And I heard that song and I was like, that is very true for me. The feeling when you laugh, the vibration in the body's energy field is such that fear has no meaning here. It's really amazing. Yes.
So yeah, like, can I make a comment on that scenario where there's like a mean person that you know in your
A
family?
mean person.
Okay.
Yes, in your
Well,
family.
if the absolute truth is that when I'm in my true identity, nothing can affect me, nothing can hurt me, that's a fact.
That's a
If I
fact.
know that going in, wouldn't it be fun to watch how the meanness, what part of it is it hitting me? My personality? Oh, wow, that's my personality. Is it nothing can affect who I truly am? And you get to like play with that. Like
Hmm.
what's going on inside? And it has nothing to do with him, but you get to play with that.
Yeah, you play with the energies, become really playful with the energies. Thomas is talking about noticing when he perceives some meanness coming from another person. Where does he feel that? Noticing where he feels that. Uh, that's an indication that you are projecting it. Doesn't really matter where you feel it. You don't need to go into it. You can be really playful about it. It's just a matter of tuning you in to recognize, oh, that's that pain. You can notice that too. You might notice a pain in the neck. People say that a lot, right? What a pain in the neck, or what a pain in the ass, right? You can see the pain you're projecting is actually the cause, and the underlying cause before that is ideas. So it goes in this order: ideas, physical pain, and then perception that seems to make that physical pain either physical or emotional. Because it's all attack. All the ideas that come from the ego are attack thoughts, and they attack physically. So it's a physical disruption in the body's energy field, moves to disruption in terms of dis-ease and stuff like that. It's all coming from ideas. It's not coming from anything external. So when we see that, we're like, oh, this person who seems to be a drunk asshole is actually giving me exactly what I need. They're definitely they're deserving of nothing less than gratitude for it. They're giving me just what I need. It's really beautiful. And when I see that they cannot miscreate, they're not capable of miscreating. The drunk asshole, or let's say the immature lover, I had that one recently. It is a freaking projection. It's not saying anything about the other person. All it is doing is giving you some kind of fuel, you could say, for seeing the truth and seeing that they are not capable of miscreating. That's the truth. They're not capable of doing it wrong. They've done it just perfect for us. They've shown us what we needed to see. And the result is more loving when it's looked upon like that. It's a deeper loving. No one is as we perceive them, they're only as God created them. So even the way that we perceive them is an image that we made. So the images are meant also to be extended love. If you look at the images like this, the images are meaningless. They're like a container, they're like an empty container. You're welcome. I love you. They're like an empty container, and then they you fill them up. Yeah, you fill them up with either thoughts of acceptance or condemnation. And that goes for your image as well. Your image is an empty container. It receives, it's like a receptacle container that receives your blessings or your condemnation, and then it acts accordingly. Yeah. All other beings, you could say, or all other sons of God, you could say, which are all one, they're actually reflecting what you've projected onto your imaginary self, your container. And meanwhile, they have all their self projections going on. Right? So it's like these containers of self, empty vessels, they're just reflecting. So it's kind of like your container gets purified of thoughts that defile it. You can't be defiled, but this is your image that you prop up to take that for you, to be defiled for you. There are like layers of projection happening. You see that? Right. My son seemed to want to start a fight. Someone's telling me. Your son seemed to want to start a fight. Right. I began laughing and it stopped immediately. That's great. I love that. Sometimes I'm reading these things and it's funny because people think that I'm talking about myself. I don't know, they'll just tune in and tune out or whatever. And they'll think I'm talking about myself and they'll be like, "Hey, I heard you had a fight with your son or something," like what I just read. And I'm like, "What? I think I read someone else's story about that." But I have experience with that. I have had fights with my son and not very many because eventually I just let him be fighting on his own, do his fight on his own, recognize it as a call for love, and be super sweet to him. And it just calms all the energy down. Same with anyone who wants to fight. It's easy like that. Laughing is great. Laugh and it stopped immediately. I just told my son something. I understand it must be really difficult growing up with a mom like me. I feel your pain. And he's like, no, mom, you're actually not that bad. It's just when we try to defend.
His thought changed it.
Yeah, yeah, just yeah, like yeah, just like yeah, I'm here to serve. Whatever perception you get of me, that's good. That's good for you, right? And it's not in a way where I'm being what is it? What is the word? Condescending. It's not in a way where I'm being condescending with him, but truthfully, like, yeah, I hear you. I can see that. And to me, it's all caricatures. Like every memory, everything like that is all caricatures playing a role. So even if there's a memory of me doing something that seems like, oh man, I wish I wouldn't have done it that way. Like I wish I wouldn't have punched him in the chest. I got a memory of punching my son in the chest. I wish I wouldn't have punched him in the chest after I saw the look in his eye after that happened, you know? And it's like you look at it, you go, oh my gosh, it never even happened. God didn't create it, so it didn't even exist. It was an imaginary thing. And you see them as caricatures just popping up. And it's like it's a comedy. It's a comedy skit. And you don't need to hold any effects from that. You don't need to carry any effects, not even for the kid or anything. It's like, oh yeah, that's fun. Oh yeah. Let's rest in that feeling. And then you can have the experience of it. You can have the experience of, it was shitty. Wow. Experience. Yeah. That was shitty growing up with me. Oh, okay. And have that experience. And then you can see you don't really want that thought. That's a dumb thought. It's all attention. It's all where your attention is. And when I'm talking about parent and child stuff, like it's so funny because some people go, I'm not a parent or something like that. And if you look deeper, it relates to you because you keep on thinking about that parent who should have done it better. And then there's another voice in your mind going, fucking get over it. You're 56 or you're 80 or something like that, Fucking get over it already. That was a long time ago. That person even passed away. But that's just also the ego. So it's just really a matter of feeling what that feels like to hold to that idea that they weren't perfect for you. They weren't totally perfect. And notice how it feels in the body's energy field. That's a projection. And then see if you want to keep it or not. That's the thing about let's say becoming enlightened, let's say. That's the way people put it a lot. You have to give up every value you have about the world. And one of them is what you think your parents did to you. Right? And so it's not a matter of going, gosh, I'm such a pussy. I keep on doing this, man. It's a matter of actually feeling that and recognizing within your own mind, within your perception and body's energy field, that you don't want that anymore and you're not going to keep it. So you could see this truly. So you could see truly all relationships that you perceive are coming from you right now. Do I want it like that? For me, I could see all the things that used to bum me out and make me feel sad when I'd focus on them and go and look at them and go, wow, that is just hilarious. That is just hilarious that it played out like that. It just looks like such a comedy because everyone's so innocent and just playing roles for the same purpose, with the same interest in mind, to be released from illusion. It's all playing out to be released from illusion, not for anything else.
So I'm hearing that.
Speak up a little bit or move closer.
I am hearing that when we are having experience of separation, it's a judgment thought.
That's right.
And if we are not able, and many times what you're saying is that we're having a bunch of judgment thoughts, and whoever's getting the best bandwidth and attention can be the projection.
Right?
If it's not seen as, a thought wanting projection.
Yes.
But if we are unable to move out of the judgment, then it turns into guilt.
Mm-hmm. And you start acting weird, passive aggressive and stuff like that. Right? So just notice, you could just look and notice, when do I act passive aggressive? When do I feel like I need some kind of when do I feel like I need some love and I'm not getting it? That's basically what's happening when you're feeling passive aggressive. Notice that. Notice how it feels and notice that you're projecting it. So then you can see, your mind will just start going automatically back to loving because you keep on seeing how you're making it up again and again and again. And it helps shift everyone back to loving. Like one of my friends is sharing about the son. She shared before about this son who wants to start a fight. And that may be his habit that he's gotten used to in his body's energy field. My son was like that with me before too. And I just recognize it as a habit that needs to get played out in the light of truth. So anytime he'd come with me to a fight, before a fight, I would be like, hooray, here's another one of those opportunities to show him that there is no fight. There's just no fight, and watch him try to throw daggers at me to try to get me into a fight. And it's just like, there's no fight.
So you did go through the pattern of the judgment of the behavior and the guilt of, before you were able to see that it was no fun.
Yeah, I was kind of like off the hook too with it. Like I scared the shit out of my son when he was like about 12 years old because he started to project that I was a bad mom. And I picked up on it and I just started crying, and he was alone with me in the car and I was driving and crying, and he just felt really scared in that time when he was like, kind of like, I don't even want to go anywhere with you. Right? That was when he was probably about 11 or 12 years old. He's 23 now. And I recognized that behavior was really what spurred me on. It's like that behavior, I saw that behavior, and that was like, felt to me to be some scary behavior. And so I was like, what is this with this idea that I'm succumbing to some idea that I could possibly be a bad mom in the first place, that I'm not strong and able to take care of my son who is already expressing something vulnerable to him, like his mom isn't being a good mom. And then his mom freaks out from hearing she's not a good mom, right? So my path on that was to see how it's not possible for me to be a bad mom in the first place. So then I don't have to buy into that guilty projection, which is projection is always what we're perceiving, we're projecting.
So the guilt will lead you to fear, is what you're also saying too? Or
Yeah, definitely. Guilty thought.
Will lead you to fear that the truth is that you are a bad mom.
Yeah, and that's true. Like it's as if that's possible in the first place to be a bad mom. That's not possible to be a bad mom in the first place. So, we don't even need to know anything other than that. That's not possible to be a bad mom. Period. I don't care if you, I don't care if you, I don't care if you think you drowned your kids in the bathtub. You're still good. You're not even a good mom. You're not even a mom, let's say. Your spirit having a dream. It's not like you're a good mom either. You're just not a mom. Yeah, you're not a mom, and that is not your son. You're having a dream, and they're telling you what you wanted to hear. It's all projection and perception. So when you recognize it like that, you can field an energy. Remember, the self you made is an energy field. That's all that's happening here. Fluctuations of energy and leading you back to love. You can feel your way back. You can sense your way back to what's actually true. So the sun automatically lightens up. He can't help it. He feels happier. He feels more taken care of. When you say we're perceiving, it's projection. So when in creation, we are not having a perception. That's right. Perception is based on error. The error is the thought of separation. So everything that we perceive is an error. The only thing real is love. And we can extend love to one another by recognizing that we are only love and there's nothing else. So it's denying reality to the illusions that kind of cover over love and make it seem like it has a real opposite. It does have an opposite, but it's not real. Let's put it that way. And if you're perceiving the opposite, that's what's given you right now to undo. You do it for all of us. And you never do it wrong. Like if you don't get this right now and you're not doing it and you're not willing to do it or something like that, you're never getting it wrong. All that's going on is you're perceiving yourself to be one who suffers, and that doesn't need to be. It's not in any way wrong. You're always getting the lessons you need to finally see that you're not one who suffers. She's sticking her tongue out at me.
That was a raspberry.
She gave a raspberry.
And laugh.
Yeah, so you know what's fun? It's like when you find yourself in any kind of suffering and you recognize you're doing it to yourself. That's how I've had a lot of awakenings like that, where I'll just be perceiving that I'm confined to suffering, like I'm imprisoned by the suffering. I can't get out of it. And then I'll just see it real quick that, oh my gosh, I'm making it. I'm making it suffering right now. I'm making it into suffering. The perception I'm getting, I'm making it into suffering. All the perception is neutral. All of it is neutral. I choose whether to make it into suffering or not. The definition of perceive says to become aware or conscious of something, come to realize or understand. So can't we perceive creation too? No, because we see creation. Perceiving is a substitute for seeing. So that's different. Seeing is the same as knowing and loving. We see creation. Yay. I love you. And that's all anyone wants is to see creation. So when we help our brothers to see creation through our reflection, that's how we see it more and more. So we're really telling our own mind that what we made of them is not so. They are still as God created them. In A Course in Miracles, it puts it like this, like there's a debt that you owe your brother. And that debt is repaid by seeing them as they really are. They truly are. That's how you repay the debt, is your willingness to see them truly and not protect the image that you made of them. And see, when you repay that gift, you repay that debt, that's how you receive the gift they have for you. So it's not like a typical debt that you pay. It's like you're indebted to them because you made them into something they're not. And you repay that debt by letting that be undone so you can see them as they are. And then that's when you receive the gift they have for you, and you're both blessed. And you bless all your brothers through that. It's not only for you. See? Well, I've been playing with all kinds of interesting and fun energies since I've been here in Sedona. It is so funny. It's like I don't really go anywhere, but I seem to get on a plane and go somewhere. And it seems like the energies are completely different here. Totally different set of energies to play with. It's like, and knowing that they're all within my own energy field makes it all really fun. That there's no body outside of me. Every body is my body. There's no person outside of myself. So whether I perceive them as being loving toward me or being resistant to me, or being, well, let's say maybe put off or something like that, uh, I just play with that energy because it's like always when you're new, like new to a person, it seems like, they're just like checking you out or something like that and seeing how it is. And the thing is, the whole time you're relating, it's like you're either making interpretations based on what you perceive, or you're giving it all to the Holy Spirit's interpretation to smooth everything out. The mind will automatically, when it sees a new person, try to define them. One friend was sharing with me that he's just watching how his mind will make up whether or not a person is worthy of his time, energy, or respect simply based on how they're dressed. He'll just see that. Right? And it's always a self-reflection because this friend, he got the perception that it was a way of worshiping God to be dressing nice, you know, which is awesome. That's totally fun. That's not a problem at all. You could make that your way of worshiping God. I make anything I seem to do my way of worshiping God, right? Uh, so the hook on that would be that if people don't seem to care about the way they dress, as if they're like a lower level consciousness or something like that, that's not the way it is. I've also heard that with veganism, they assume, and a lot of times, people uh, will interact with me a little bit or hear my videos or whatever, and then they'll be so shocked to find out I'm not identified as a vegetarian or vegan. And I'm just like, really, like, what gave you that idea that I would be in the first place? I mean, what even gave you that idea? I mean, do I look like a vegetarian or vegan? Is that what we're saying? No, I just thought that, at your level of consciousness, that you would eat higher vibrational food. And I'm just like, oh, well, I give all the vibration to all the food I seem to put in my mouth. And from my perspective on, let's say, eating food, I seem to eat the best possible food I could possibly eat. I mean, I just love it. My food is just like super, it's just like it feels nourishing. It feels let's say vibrational high frequency, right? It's like because that's the juice I'm giving it. I'm making it whatever it is to me. And you know what? I find myself eating whatever seems to taste and feel the best in the vibrational field at the moment. That's all it is. Taste and I don't have concepts about it. I don't have ideas that tell me that I have to do it a certain way. Otherwise, it's low vibrational. If I perceive something that I wouldn't normally eat, for me, let's say something that I wouldn't like go out and buy and put in the kitchen and try to cook with it, canola oil, let's say. When I find myself eating canola oil, sometimes I'll be at a restaurant and the restaurant will have something like, I don't know, those those poppers. What are they called? They're like jalapeno poppers, like a jalapeno, cream cheese, deep fried, right? If I find myself eating some of those, I'm eating them with the highest vibe. I'm not not projecting any guilt onto that thing, you know? For each of us, it's a different kind of object. It's like we'll apply it to different objects. Like some people say meat is low vibration, or this is low vibration, or this particular thing has actually proven that it's low vibration, even proven in the field. It's not really true. That's fine. You can still go for high vibrational foods. I seem to. I love it. To me, whatever, whatever I seem to put in my mouth is high vibrational just because it's in my vibrational energy field and everything is transformed like that. It's just easy. Okay, Glenn has a comment. I could tell it's going to be funny. So I heard you say pussy, but you're not separate from me. So I actually said pussy. Yes, that's right. Also, I am all the pussies. But in truth, I am not a pussy at all, just a dream of pussies. Hooray. He just likes to hear me say pussy. That's why he writes it so many times. You're so fun, Glenn. Yep. And we made these words just to, to be fun or funny, or what's the other one someone brought to me recently? Profane. They told me the words are profane. Who told us they're profane? That's what I want to know. Who popped up in our perception and told us they were profane? It must have been ourselves. Like there's certain words that are harmful. We just made that up. We made that shit up. It's like and one thing my friend pointed out that was really good is we see everything through a filter. So if you see something as profane, you're looking through a filter of profanity. That's what's happening. If you see something as evil, you're looking through a filter of evil. I heard someone say this past week, I guess there's a huge statue around here of Jesus on the cross. And they said he's got his eyes open, and it's like he's looking at you with this shameful stare, like look at what you did to me. You're so fucking guilty, right? So you can see how that's looking through a filter of guilt and shame. Because if you're not looking through that filter of guilt and shame, the same exact image will reflect to you Jesus saying, I've overcome the world, or something to that effect. Or I'm totally unaffected by any of this because my mind is purified of all guilt.
His eyes are open because he's awake as he's dying.
His eyes are open because he's awake as he's purifying the mind of guilt and sin. Or you could say his eyes are awake because his eyes are awake because he knows he's purified it, and he's looking at you like you're stoked.
Stoked.
That's right. Yeah. Let this statue be a reminder that you're fucking stoked. See what I mean? It's all the filter that you're looking through that would make it seem a certain way. So when I get the perception someone is acting in a way, let's say in a way I don't prefer, right? Let's say someone's being a perv. That has been my perfect one over all the years to show me more and more. Let's say someone's being a perv in your perception. This is so common too. I hear about this from women all the time. And, I have become really fond of saying, I'm the perv. You guys who have listened to me for a while know about this. I've become very fond of saying, I'm the perv. Okay? I've been seeing pervs since I've been a little kid. I would meet pervs anywhere I would go, places you would not expect a perv. There they are with their finger in me. Wow. Right? So I became real fond of saying, I'm the perv, right? I'm the one projecting that whole thing. And as common as it is, there's a lot of female pervs. They're always getting perved on. They're projecting it. And I say that playfully because no one's really capable of being a perv. I mean, if you heard me talk, that's true. It's just, it's a way of tuning my mind, and comically for me, to me, that's comical, just the saying, I'm the one that's the perv. It just cracks me up. Um, to allow myself to see past the image that I've made of my brother. And that allows them to see past the image they made of themselves. Because really, what this is, it's mirroring. So the trigger that's being picked up on in myself and what's being picked up on in them, they match. See? So this is why Jesus is saying how forgiveness lets us go together with each other, like hand in hand, right? So the normal way to deal with pervy energy is to stay away from them, right? For me, it's just like how I answered that last question or a couple questions ago up there about how should I leave, and that includes leaving the immediate vicinity or not. So I leave that up to the Holy Spirit's function, right? Instead of, I know I don't have to protect my body though. I know I don't need to do that. It's because of the defenselessness that I allow myself to perceive. That's the lens I use to perceive that I'm totally safe in every situation, right? It's like even when we get the perception of we've been raped, truly that it was consensual. Truly it was consensual. You don't see it that way because you don't want to yet. You want to see that you're being victimized, and that's why you're projecting victimizers. So I started to notice this early on, right? I started to notice this and I was like, I'm totally in command here. Like, no one is really going to do anything to me against my will. And even in that hotel in India, when that guy grabbed me, one thought that went through my mind is like, worst case scenario, I'm getting laid by a dude in his 30s. Sorry, honey, I've been raped. And so I started cracking up. The dude's on me, and I'm just cracking up laughing. At the same time, I'm going, I'm saying really clearly, get your hands off my ass too. At the same time, I just saw, I'm like watching the boundary arise. It just comes as it needs to. So in seeing that it's all me and feeling totally safe with all these kinds of energies, it's kind of like I could push the edges of it a little bit. Like I could let it be, okay, I see this sense like something is wanted here. It seems like something's wanted. It seems like it's a sinister kind of want. Oh, it must be a miracle impulse. That's what it actually is. It's a miracle impulse. It's totally innocent. So then I can uh, actively, this is how we participate in the healing. I can actively release my brother from his wound. Because even for me to get that interpretation, that energetic interpretation, there's a match. So it's like, what do I want more than anything? I want to release him when he's coming to me for help. That's basically what he's doing. It's a call for help. It's a call for love. It's basically, he's giving me a call for love right now. So to see it as it is, all of the manifestations play out in exactly the way they need to. But I saw the thought behind it that was really fun. It was really cute and fun. It was, he's just trying to get something and he shouldn't have what he wants. He should not get what he wants. Right? It's like it's just a program. It's just a program. And when we see past the programming, we can actually communicate with each other, and that's where we extend love. The programming tells us danger, 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 you're in trouble. But love says, I got you. Nothing can nothing can even happen to you in a dream where it doesn't really happen, but nothing can even happen to you. You can't even have any perception that isn't totally beneficial for you. Think of that the next time you're walking down a dark alley and you get the sense that something bad could happen. Just think on that and laugh. You cannot have any perception that you don't totally need and isn't totally beneficial for you and for everyone. So that lets you go into circumstances like that. You can also see this. It's an energy play. So when you get the perception that someone can have any kind of control or power or dominion over you, you start to play into that energy. And this is an energy that builds before it ends up into something violent or something that feels oppressive or something like that. So when you're noticing it coming in, you don't have to keep on playing it that way. It's like, I must be mistaken. This always has me flashing back to the time where it seemed like I was being raped by 3 or 4 guys. I can't remember how many, but it seemed like I was about to get raped by them. And I just asked Jesus for help really fast. And I just started to see it different really fast. And I actually watched myself turn the energy, completely turn the energy to where they were actually being totally sweet with me, which almost made it look like I was just making up the idea that they were going to rape me. And that's exactly how it is all the time, right? That's why we can turn it because it's our own idea. That's why we actually have command over all of the circumstances because it's our own idea that makes the circumstances in the first place. So one of the things the Holy Spirit has been using me for is reflecting innocence back to people who seem to be caught up in this pervy energy. They're not really that. So just let them free from it. Let them completely free from it. Reflecting back to them that that's a miracle impulse. It's just being misdirected right now. That's how it goes. It gets misdirected toward form. The miracle impulse is really an impulse to join mentally. It's to join in love. So it may seem like you need to join with a body or to join with some food or to join with something else, but you really only want to join mentally. And so do they. So that's why we help each other and we help ourselves when we're willing to look past these illusions that anyone's outside of ourselves trying to do something to us or trying to get something that they shouldn't have. That's not up to me. Even even my body is given over to that in a way like I don't really care. It doesn't really matter to me where this energy goes as long as, let's say, as long as it's deep. And that's up to me. As long as we're not just doing some kind of little, uh, let's say, conditioned dance. And that's up to me. I was talking with another friend this week that was telling me about um, changing people, like wanting to change people um, in the same kind of vein with pervy energy, you know, to let them know that's pervy energy. And, that's another way of saying, and, the way she does it is she just says it and she's like, it's fine. I'm just telling you, this is how I see it. It looks like pervy energy to me. You keep on saying this, or you keep on doing this, or something like that. She's like, it's fine. This is just the way I see it. And that is one step in the direction because traditionally this stuff has been kept secret. One is it's as if the quote unquote victim, let's put it's not really a victim, but let's say the woman in most cases or girl is feeling guilty about it and wants to be quiet about it, and other people, family members, friends, whatever, yeah, don't talk about that, be quiet about it. That is one step, is just taking these things out of the closet, making them not so secret. Doesn't need to be secret, right? For me, I just have such a loud mouth. I'm just kind of like, it's not too much of a secret. It'll be coming out. It just gets pointed out like that. Like, hey, get your hands off my ass, for instance. Right? Um, Once we can see it out in the open, that's when it could be brought to forgiveness. Like, oh, it's something I'm making up. First, what is it you're making up? And we're making these illusions together. Like we're deciding to play the role. No person really is that thing. They're just deciding to play the role. It's like, okay, I'll be your molester. It's like, oh, okay, that'll be fun. You're welcome. Right? It's all ourselves just playing with ourselves to see uh, how to see our way back home. So when you see relationships like that and you don't have anything to get from them at all, there's nothing to get from them, except you might say the gift that everyone has for you. So when we're put into a space where we're relating with someone, we're orchestrated that way. So let's say like a husband and wife situation, and the wife asks the husband, do you love me? And if the husband knows, he knows, of course I love you. I love you more and more the more I experience you. It's amazing. I just see love expanding and expanding and expanding. Are you going to stay with me forever? I'm going to stay with you as long as it serves the Holy Spirit's purpose. I don't want to try to stay 1 minute longer, and I don't want to try to leave 1 minute sooner. I just want to stay as long as it serves the Holy Spirit's purpose. Because there's nothing for me to get beyond that. There's nothing in it for me. It's like you start to see past this idea that you need a certain number of years to have success in relating, or you need anything in the world, and that's why you stay. A lot of people, talk about how they have kids, so they need to stay because they have kids or something like that. You don't even have to let that thought play into anything. It doesn't mean anything at all. All of this is orchestrated. So that alleviates all of the pressure from you, whether to stay or go in every situation. I know when I've been led by the Spirit through an uncomfortable feeling, even though there's an uncomfortable feeling, there's like there's some enthusiasm there and some inspiration to stay through an uncomfortable sensation that's saying, leave, 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 and just stay through it. I open up into something greater and greater and greater. So I've seen that a lot in my experience. I've had experiences before where the ego's going, no, 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 and the Holy Spirit's going, yes, this is good for you, and you're gonna have fun. It's always it too. You're gonna have fun. There's gonna be challenges because things that you are still clinging to in the unconscious are going to be made conscious through this relating. That's what's going to feel challenging. It's really only challenging to an ego, though. So we're not trying to make our relationships so that they give us everything we want. In fact, they're designed to not give us what we want. They're designed by design. They are not giving us what we want.
So funny, when we come together, we think that it's gonna give us everything.
We think it's going to give us what we want. That's right. I mean, and I find this through, experimenting. It's like it never is, because this world is based on error. It just cannot. What it can do for you is lead you. These relationships, all situations, everything can lead you toward what you want if you let that be the purpose of it. It's going to lead you toward what do you want? What do you want? What do you want truly? Uh, there can't be anything else but the peace of God. It's one way of saying it. That's what you want. You want that peace of God. That's what you're looking for in form. That's what you're looking for in your relationships. And that's something that you can actually attain and will attain, actually. You're guaranteed to attain it in safety, in complete safety, completely intact, completely as God created you, not changed one bit. You're guaranteed to attain the peace of God. Everything that you're drawn toward in the perception, every one, every relationship, every interaction is for that purpose, to help you attain the peace of God. It's the highest illusion in the dream. It makes you ready, let's say, to be plucked right out of dreaming. Yeah, it's like the highest illusion, the peace of God in a dream.
Already here.
Yep. Diana.
Love it.
I got to remember, let me see,
Good.
the Prince song, Dirty Diana. Yeah.
Jackson.
Oh, Michael Jackson. Thank you. I know I get them mixed up all the time, all these different ones.
Yeah, that'll stick in your head. It did for a lot of other people.
That was Michael Jackson. That's right. That makes it work. Okay. Yeah. What did you say before that? I was going to say you said something.
I did say something.
Well, if you remember, say it again.
Now you got me in a whole different.
I know.
That took me to memories.
She went into some memories. Interesting. So like I told my stepdad, who has since passed away, apparently, um, when he said he was sorry about all the things that occurred between us, I told him there's nothing to be sorry about, because it was really a fearful energy arising between us. That's all it is. It didn't really happen. Like, it didn't really happen. The form of it is just an interpretation. It's like a caricature play of a fearful energy play. So it's like the caricatures are drawn on a screen. And then there's this play, oh, someone's doing something to them, someone's making them do this that they don't want to do, and stuff like that. Um, that's the caricature play. And we're all mighty, mighty, mighty. We are all like that. Doesn't matter what age we seem to be or anything. We're totally projecting everything that we perceive, even as babies. Don't let the baby thing fool you. That is all powerful being, making it all up, making themselves seem young and innocent and all that stuff. And then they grow up and then they seem old and fucking sinister. They start being a bratty kid. They start doing all this, and it's all make believe. There's no variations on our innocence. We're the same innocent, whether just born or 85 years old with a long rap sheet, maybe. Maybe you seem to have done all this stuff. You're no less innocent than you were as a newborn child. That doesn't change. Nothing that you do. So the idea that you're not there yet, as in, you're not awake, you don't know, that idea for a lot of people is just an idea that keeps them from the full embrace, from the full surrender. We've been told that we're completely accomplished already. It's just an unwillingness to see that that's the case. And that's only in the present moment. It's just now. It's not based on what you did before. It's not based on 5 minutes ago. It's not based on anything you thought before. Those thoughts have no real effects either. It's only right now accepting that you are the one beloved Son of God. And nothing that appears outside of you is really outside of you. It's all just waiting to be blessed by your love, being accepted into your mind and integrated. Every person has a unique way of loving, and they all love you. It's one thing that I like to play with. Like when I get the perception someone's like not sure about me, they're building their idea and they seem to be trending toward, she's a fucking weirdo.
She's out there.
She's out there. I just see
I
them.
like that one.
You like that one? That's the one Diana uses for me. She's out there.
But I'm out there too.
She's out there too, so she's not judging against me. But I get the perception people are judging against me, right? Like they're judging that, who knows? There's a facial expression that I'll see and I'm like, that doesn't look like you love me. And knowing that that's not true. Everyone loves me. And I can see everyone, if I will it, smiling in loving appreciation of me. If I will see that rather than protect my interpretations that this person sees me like this. I just see them in my mind's eye as being perfectly loving toward me and grateful with a happy, grateful smile on their face. When the thought crosses my mind, it's all an idea that, and it comes with a visual, even in imagination. There's like this visual, as if this person is like, oh, you're just such a dumb bitch or something like that. And I'll just see it differently and ask to see it differently, and will be seeing it differently even in the manifest. I love you too. Thank you. That's such a sweet note. So all the people, even the people, how there's a trend now online to be talking about how you have haters, and it's kind of like in a way where you're going, yeah, I'm so awesome. I even got haters, I'm so fly. People like me so much. They want to be me so much. They hate me, right? We don't have to hold that perception. We can change that over to, these are my lovers. These are the ones that love me. Right? And actually see that differently, see these interactions as being loving, knowing that you're totally unaffected by lack of love because it actually comes from your own mind. It's your own projection. So that makes you unaffected by it. This is totally different from the way the ego would want you to take it. I've seen and heard ways of taking this like, oh, well, I guess I'm just mean to myself, so I have to keep on, like they're locked in a perception where people are mean to them. I guess I'm just mean to myself and I can't see how to stop being mean to myself, so I guess I just have to put up with it like it's punishment. It's not punishment, it's a blessing because it's right now. Are you willing to see them loving? It's all sight. It's all your own sight. So the ego would have you stop at something short of true recognition of this and be like, well, I guess I'm victimizing myself and I'm stuck in this. No, it becomes fun even to have a perception of someone who seems to not be loving toward you because it's impossible. It's funny. So there's nothing to fight. So you're not in resistance. See how this is a defenseless, it's a defenseless way of being. And so there's nothing there for them to interact with, like, see, I knew that you were a fucking asshole, right? Because you're not defending.
I remember it was peace is here and love is here, so it's that realization that peace and love are synonymous.
Yes, peace and love are here.
And seeing that the projector is going to overlay again and again.
Yeah. But here's what happens though. See, she's talking about seeing that the projector is going to overlay again and again. It's only going to overlay again and again as long as you need it to do that. So to see through it, you're actually laughing at the illusion of it, and then you don't need it to do that anymore. This goes for everything, including war and disease and all of that. It's only going to keep on repeating and overlaying until we see it truly. That's what makes it fun, because each instance you're getting to have more fun by seeing more how you made it up. When you see this stuff, it makes you laugh. It really does. It makes you laugh. It's like, wow, I made it. I made it that good. That's amazing. And it makes you laugh because you could see yourself releasing your brothers and releasing yourself through it instead of playing out the same thing over and over again. Like, wow, this sucks. It's like you change it to, isn't this great? Isn't this so fun? Like someone will tell me, Hope, this person said this thing about you. And I'll be like, that's so fun. It's just automatic. That's so fun. I love that. Or someone will all of a sudden pop up triggered at me, you know? Oh, that's so fun. Let's play with it, right? Seeing it's not possible for them to truly be angry at me. They're totally grateful for me. They're totally grateful toward me. They're totally loving toward me. So it's like they're just kidding when they're acting like I did something to trigger them in the first place. It's like they are just kidding. So that might not be the uh, thing that I find myself saying to them specifically, you're just kidding. But in my body's energy field, it's a sense that I know they're kidding. And I know, and also another thing that I know about if someone has a trigger and they're getting triggered apparently at me, that blessings are coming out of it. I'm sure that blessings are coming out of it. It cannot go another way. So then I don't get afraid. So then I don't have to go into self-defense. I can be in the fun of it. It's kind of like, oh, tell me more. And also, how can I help? How can I be helpful? How can I be helpful? The most helpful to this person or situation. That's really saying, how can I be helpful to myself? Helping myself to see more, helping myself to be more aware and alert and in love. That's all that's really wanted. It's not, there's not anything else. Even the seeming support. Like, let's say this idea about that we have to support ourselves in the world. Really, we only really need to support the truth by uplifting, being uplifting to our brothers, being willing to see the truth in them. That supports us, that sustains us. Whether we seem to have a job about it or not is not the thing. Allowing ourselves to become richer and richer in wisdom, in knowing, in feeling and seeing through all of the interactions. Playing with every perception of a patterned dialogue arising. Notice when a patterned dialogue arises. And ask, how can I have fun with this? That's what I do. How can I have fun with this? How can there be some fun brought into this? patterned dialogue. A lot of the times the Holy Spirit will have me say something really off the wall just to break up the monotony. Sometimes it'll get some looks like, what the heck? What did you just say? But everything that's said in love is also received in love. So when you're recognizing that it's all only love, what you're sharing does get received in love. It's not even uh, a matter of perception, like they could seem to be taken back by it or anything. But your awareness that it's impossible for anyone to miscreate will let every expression that you do be received in love. Because you're aware that it's not possible for anyone to miscreate. That means no one is affected by seeming lack of love because it's only a seeming thing. It's only a misperception that there was any lack of love at all. This thing about blaming different objects in the field for making lack of love. Like, let's say alcohol. I've heard meat eating, the same kind of thing that this anonymous person wrote on here about someone with alcohol issues or whatever. It could be meat eating. I've heard people say that eating meat makes people mean. They got that kind of thing going. Um, Different drugs, nothing has any power over your perception but your thoughts. So it's taking away all the meaning we've given to these things in the world. One of them's Wi-Fi. I know um, there's this idea that people are sensitive to Wi-Fi. You're not sensitive to Wi-Fi. You're sensitive to the idea that you can be affected by something in the world. So then it seems like these different things in the world affect you. That gives you an opportunity. And whatever you find yourself dealing with, that's your opportunity. So it's like this idea, I'm affected by Wi-Fi. Let's say I don't know what some of the symptoms are, maybe like fatigue or something like that. Yeah, I get fatigue. And instead of looking around my material environment to see what's fatiguing me, I recognize right away I must be thinking something that doesn't serve me. What is it? Let me see. Let me see it. See? Yay! Thank you, Natalie. It's so fun that you're on here. Yay, I'll talk to you soon. Oh, speaking of that, Natalie's in Bellingham, Washington, and my plan was to proceed to Bellingham, Washington around November 1st from Sedona to Bellingham. And that plan has changed. I'm still going to go to Bellingham, but not until December 1st because I'm going to take a detour to Bullhead City, Arizona, where there's a sweet, sweet community that is open and excited about having some Hope Johnson action around there. So I'm going to be
Bullhead City.
Bullhead City. That's right. That's right. Yep.
To the bull.
Yep. It's right on the border of Laughlin, Nevada, where there's casinos. They're kind of rundown casinos now. Um, but it's still fun to go hang out over there. And there's a river, so it's across the river. And I've been offered a nice casita that's got a pool with two of my Hanai sisters. Hanai means family, like adopted family. Those are my mom's Hanai daughters. And they're like, oh yeah, you come stay here as long as you want. So I'm going to go check out Bullhead City for a little while, be around my family more too. That's going to be fun. So about a month of that, and then off to Bellingham, Washington, December 1st now. Yeah. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We'll see. I'm having a lot of fun wherever I am, that's for sure. I've been attending a lot of A Course in Miracles kind meetings. Some straight up A Course in Miracles where we read A Course in Miracles, and some where we just get online and have some conversations. I guess they're all doing some kind of reading and conversations. And I've just been having so much fun with those. I have not really attended groups for A Course in Miracles very much. We did a reading group for a little bit in Hawaii, but attending these groups, it just shows me, wow, I have an interesting interpretation. She's surprised. Well, I'm thinking that the Course in Miracles people are totally on the same page with me in my interesting interpretation, you know? Like it's like for me, shit, this is freedom right now. And for most people, what I'm getting is this is freedom sometime in the future. It's not right now. Like first we need to do this process 50,000 times where we fuck with something that happened back in our childhood. And then it gets to a point where, wait a minute, it's not the childhood. That's what Jesus has been saying. It's not the childhood. It didn't originate in time. It originated before time. Okay, looked like were you raising your hand? Someone was raising their hand a second ago. If you still want to talk to me, go ahead and raise your hand again. I love it. Um, so what's really good teaching for me around all of that is I'm not their teacher, right? I don't have to like make sure they get to the happy dream. Everyone is willing. Well, that's the Holy Spirit's function, anyways, to get them home, right? That's not for me. So for me, it's a matter of recognizing that they're already where they're supposed to be, and it's it's blessed that I get to be there and sharing the way I see things too. It's not a matter of whether they agree with me or anything like that. And what I notice is some people seem to go, I wonder if I really can just accept right now and be in the happy dream. Or do I need to fit in with a group that's saying we're almost there? We're all almost there. Pretty soon, once circumstances change. Once we see world peace, it's actually the other way around. We bring it through. And, it's also an idea that I don't affect world peace. Of course, you affect world peace. The world is coming out of you, right? The world is coming out of you. Of course, you affect world peace. That's all you. So it's like since I don't perceive world peace, I'm not there yet. Also, here's a really fun one that I see played out over and over again. It's like there's this trigger, let's say annoyance, right? I get annoyed, for instance, that this thing is always left out of place by my roommate, let's say. And I just keep on getting annoyed, and I keep on getting relief from being annoyed by recognizing that I could just forgive my roommate. I could just forgive my roommate, or I could forgive myself for getting annoyed or whatever, and then I'm better. Well, it's a really simple pivot. It's a really simple pivot that actually collapses time. None of this shit is happening. There's no one here to forgive because none of this shit is happening. The thing is not left on the counter, and I'm not even capable of reacting like that. This is a projection, it's a dream. None of this is even happening. It makes no sense. Isn't it funny? And then that collapses time. And, to me, it's really clear, like the interpretation that I get is really clear to me that it's a I guess it's like it's not a truer interpretation. it's the advancement of it. So it starts out as one thing where you're an ego forgiving people and getting relief. That's great. That's great. And Jesus is talking about that in chapter 2, about the miracle, the kind of miracle that keeps on looping around, and the kind that collapses time. So to collapse the time is a matter of seeing that the whole cause itself, it does not exist. You only projected it. You only projected, as look at all the projections. Let's take this example of someone's leaving some object on the counter. Let's say they're leaving their smelly socks on the counter, okay? They're leaving smelly socks on the counter every day. And you're like, you've asked them to please just put their socks in the hamper a million times, but they won't do it. And you keep on getting annoyed by it. So you can keep on circling around with this forgiveness, going back to your childhood, working it out, and you keep on getting annoyed again and again and again. Or you can actually observe that none of this shit is actually happening. I'm imagining it. All that I'm propping up right now to make it seem like I can feel annoyed is that separation is true. I'm doing that right now. And as I'm propping up that separation is true, you know what I'm doing? I'm making myself feel annoyed. So the socks on the counter and the feeling of annoyance and annoyance all the way across the board is completely eliminated. I could say that for myself. I have gone quite a long time. I don't know in the amount of time specifically without getting annoyed. I can still perceive a thing that seems to be out of place, but it doesn't equal annoyance because it's been purified from my mind. It's just like, that doesn't mean anything. Overwhelm doesn't mean anything because I've seen through the idea that I have anything to do here. I have nothing to do here. I have no duties here. Right? So I've seen through that idea. The annoyance it has an underlying thought that's saying that there's a reason to be annoyed. Ultimately, it's the thought of separation. It's as if any of this shit is actually happening and it's not just a game that I'm projecting right now. Okay. Thank you, Christina. I love your take and interpretation of the acid. I know what you mean, ACIM. You make me laugh. ACIM, not acid. Yes. But that may be interesting. Yes, it may. I mean, isn't it all the same? It all just comes right out of my mind. You know, it's like, I've expressed to people before, especially when it seems like they're trying to convince me that I'm just parroting a book. They're saying, you sound like ACIM. And I'll go, I am ACIM. I wrote that fucker. And Thomas asked me today, he's like, that means he wrote the Bible. I wrote everything. How could it be another way? It's coming out of my mind. Right? I found ACIM in 2014. I was like, wow, this is the shit. This is really saying it. And then I continued practicing it. It became my main practice. And then down the road, I started to teach it quite a bit down the road because I didn't know like how long I was going to be with this spiritual practice. I didn't immediately start talking like, oh yeah, I'm doing this spiritual practice, ACIM. I already had a wisdom talk going, I may have mentioned it a couple times, but it was a while before I started teaching it because it really showed itself. It's like, wow, this is really something. This shit works. Like if you like if you actually apply it, and the way I did it, I would take each lesson and I would try my best to apply it to every upset I got during the day. And when I started ACIM, I was fucking triggered so much. It was like all day long. And this is with knowing a lot of spiritual knowledge. Was already really well studied. I could read and absorb things like no one's business. And I had already been on it for probably a good 10 years. So I was knowing all this spiritual knowledge, but I was triggered all the time. It seemed to be driving me nuts because I was like, shit, I know this shit. And then I just go around and do it. I would write something spiritual on Facebook and then I would turn around and do that exact same thing. I'd be like, what the heck? How do I not see these things coming? And through the practice of A Course in Miracles, I just got more and more aware of what I'm doing. Also, I practiced A Course in Miracles intently over many years. I didn't switch around because I just go, this is it. I know it. I could feel it. I just need to see what it's saying to me here and really live it. And then also I started telling people about block therapy really early on because this is compression therapy. And I don't care what form of compression therapy it is. I don't make any money off of block therapy. It's like I start doing this block therapy though, and I start experiencing viscerally release of fear, like release of fear in a visceral sense. So then that really seemed to help me to see things kind of like more in slow motion, like detached, not like boom, it's hitting your energy field, right? That's what it's like because it's a nervous system hit. And we get used to and habituated toward these nervous system hits. So it's like it hits our energy field, kind of like coming from outside. It hits it and then makes us react, right? This is the experience that we get. Well, I don't get this experience anymore where I get hit and have to react from it because I'm used to it. I'm sensitive to an energetic hit like that. And I know what it means from practicing with it over and over again. I'm like, oh, this is a good thing for one. This is a really good thing. There's going to be some blessings coming out of this, right? And with block therapy, it shows you the people in the room right now are doing block therapy in front of me. I recommend doing block therapy while you're listening to wisdom dialogues or ACIM deep dives, because then you're in that zone where when I say something that triggers you, you can just relax a little bit more. And it helps you get some distance from that smack. It's because it's kind of like a smack or a sting or a heat rush. When you're watching stuff like that as something that's beneficial for you, you see, ah, thank you, and you go into gratitude, see? Yes, I'm so blessed to be back with you too. I love you, Robert. Thank you. Yeah. It's fun. Some of my friends will stop listening for years and then come back again. And it's like the door's always open, you know? Uh you just like maybe shift around to different teachings from different people, and it's not like anything's wrong in any of that. It's just whatever teaching resonates for you the most, and even the medium resonates for you the most at the time. You know, and sometimes it could be the same one, like for me, A Course in Miracles. It's been the same one. And now I'm doing deep dives into it. And I do that on Wednesday, same time, 3 p.m. Pacific time, 3 to 5. I'll be deep diving this Wednesday. We're still in chapter 2. There's 30 some chapters, and I don't get through them very fast. So I'll be doing this for a while, and I'm really excited about it because each time I do one of these deep dives, I just get enlightened. I mean, it's like wow, right? It's like wow. It's like I could see the way I've been working with the energies, and then A Course in Miracles will put it into terms that show me, oh my goodness, that's a way to put it that you can really see. I'll give you a for instance from last week. This one has really been swimming around in my mind a lot. I've loved it. So Jesus was talking about Freud again, which has been in a lot of our recent ones. And he was talking about how Freud identified the id and the superego. The id is the one with the impulses, which Freud called libido. He tied it mostly with sexuality, okay, like sexuality and instincts, I think. And then there's the superego. This is in Freud's model still. The superego makes sure that the id doesn't get out of line with all of its desires and impulses. Okay? So there's constantly this thing, kind of like this little battle where this id is trying to get its way and get everything that it wants, all of its desires. And the superego is going, no, you can't have that. You can't do that. That's bad. You should control yourself and different things like that. So what Jesus is saying about that, what he's pointing out is that the id is really miracle impulse. There's no other kind of psychic energy is what Jesus was talking about, but a miracle impulse. That's all it could possibly be. And what Freud is calling the super ego is really just the ego, and it's not necessary at all. So see how the id with the miracle impulse is just released to be itself. And that's the freedom that I experience in my mind around all kinds of different things that could pop up in the world. One of them's food. And, early on, I was like, why do we have to be so controlled about our food? Why do we have to be so demeaning and demanding on ourselves that we eat a bunch of shit we don't like? We even get ourselves to believe we like stuff that we actually don't like to try to make us healthy. It's like I've heard from people many times, well, I like eating all these leafy greens. I'm like, really? Why do you like them? They're good for me. Really? Wouldn't you rather have something like this? Well, yeah, but I want to eat what's good for me. And you get down to it and you're like, fuck, a lot of the times people are not enjoying in a juicy, sensuous way what they're eating. And it's this relationship between the miracle impulse aspect of the mind, which is all psychic energy, and the super ego or the ego trying to control that energy. When you just notice, oh, there's no need for the ego at all, then you're just, this miracle impulse is guided by spirit. And it's always joyous. It's always, the outcome is always joyous. It's only believing that you're not worthy of your joy. You're not worthy of happiness, that you need this ego to tell you what to do with that impulse. So I started applying it to sexual energy, right? It's like, oh, this pervy energy, that is not anything but a miracle impulse. It's just a misperception that it's something else, but actually it's a miracle impulse. And the ego is saying he shouldn't get what he wants, right? The ego is saying something like that. That's right. He shouldn't get what he wants. All that's doing is training your own mind to say you shouldn't get what you want. It comes in this form to make it seem convincing. Everyone should get what they want. What everyone wants is the peace of God. This is a miracle impulse. It's nothing else. It seems to be directed towards something else. And yes, it's being misdirected, but that doesn't mean that it's inherently bad or needs to be controlled by the ego. That does not mean that the ego should control it. Let the Holy Spirit have it. Look at it not as a threat, but a blessing. An opportunity to extend love. And that doesn't mean you're deciding even, let's say, whether you're going to give in to the impulse. You're not the one deciding. You're like, whatever is perfect for the Holy Spirit's function. That's what this body is for. It's for whatever is perfect for the Holy Spirit's function. I have no use for it. It never got me what I wanted anyways. I have no use for it. I give it over to the Holy Spirit because I know that's where peace and happiness is. And I know that I'm not going to be harmed in any way. Another friend was sharing with me, and she specifically asked me to talk about it on Wisdom Dialogues. I think it's because she likes to go back and listen to it again and go, oh, yeah. Anyways, I love to do it. It's really cool. So a friend of mine got the perception that she was in a relationship with someone who was so immature that he got her pregnant and then he didn't even care. He didn't even care how she was feeling. He didn't care to help her out with the abortion, give her a ride, anything like that. And he was just being his immature self. And it made her, according to her, so mad at herself for being with this guy, feeling like she's in love with him and being with him. So the reason why you even get the perception that you're in love with them in the first place is because the Holy Spirit has a function to play through this dynamic. And all that's going on is you're coming back to love. So you're perceiving truly. One, yes, you projected the whole scenario. This is not so you can get angry with yourself for making an outcome you didn't want. This is to see that you don't really want to keep propping up this world. I came to the realization with regard to having kids. I thought for sure after I had the third kid, I am never fucking doing that again. You know what? It seems like I don't even want the ones I have, right? Like this is a pain in the ass. Like I would like to get out of this right now. I'm definitely not trying to have more so I can prolong this torture, right? So what I came to later on though was, shit, I don't even care. It gets pregnant, it does this, it does that. Whatever it is, it's useful for the Holy Spirit's function. So I don't even mind. I get an abortion, like wherever I find myself, that's where I'm extending miracles. Those are the interactions that I'm meant to have. That's how I look at it, right? If it seems like I need to go to the doctor, the dentist, got fillings recently, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I get to extend love in this particular circumstance, in this particular interaction, this scenario. This is what the Holy Spirit is appointing me to do and where to be and who to communicate love with. So I'm never like on break from this. I'm not never like, oh, this doesn't matter. I'm just going to the dentist, right? Or, oh, this doesn't matter. I'm just going for an abortion. Let me just get through this abortion. And then I'll go back to being the light of the world. So we're coming to see, and especially when we get the perception of one of our brothers is not living up to what we think they should be for us, is we get to see that our brothers cannot miscreate. That is huge. Because that's what we're using to project and distract us from the idea that we can miscreate. We can't really miscreate. But we use these brothers who seem like they really have miscreated, like they messed us up, for instance. Like, gosh, I would have been just really way better if that person just never walked into my life, right? But really, they're for something else. They're for opening us up to the fact that we cannot miscreate. So my friend was having a hard time seeing forgiveness through this. But then once she saw it, she's like, "Oh, I get it. This is our holy instant. This is our holy instant together where all of this comes to a head and I see him truly. I see that he's 100% helpful in any kind of behavior that's on the field. I see that I made him up to be as if he's not being helpful. I see that I made it up to make him special. Like I'm in love with him as a body, as a separate body. The only love is the love of God. There's no other love. And the love of God is universal. So that's universal. That means universally extending love through every interaction. This falling in love that makes it like they're supposed to perform a certain way, that's really like a murderous thought. And all attack thoughts are attacking us physically. So it would make a physical manifestation. Let's say you're pregnant in a pregnancy you don't want. You apparently don't want. But when you turn that around and give even that to the Holy Spirit's function, then you're saying, oh, this pregnancy and the abortion that seems to be unfolding is of benefit. This is where I declare that the truth is true. And I let that be the resonance that comes through me and out into the apparent world. To demonstrate to myself and to everyone else that only love is possible because only love is true. Can you imagine being the one going into the abortion clinic laughing? That's how. Demonstrate to your own mind this stuff is not meaningful. Nothing is meaningful in the world. The only thing meaningful is the love that you are and the love that you can extend through true forgiveness. What I thought happened didn't happen. Not I forgive myself for making it up. That's okay too. It'll get you some relief, but you're after more than relief. You're after collapsing time. So, hooray, everyone. Thank you for joining. I love you. Yes. So, yes, go back to hopejohnson.org. Go over to hopejohnson.org if you would like to join anything. Wherever you're listening to this right now, I'll let you know I have Zooms. You can join my Zooms. You can watch on Substack. Also, they're recorded on Substack, so you can go to Substack. You can also, and all this stuff is accessible through my website, hopejohnson.org. Okay. You can get my book there, Unschooling for Parents. You can get one-to-ones on there. You can donate to me. You could set up monthly donations to me. By the way, thank you to some of my friends who have done that. That is so sweet. I think they can be as low as $10 a month, and anything is helpful. I have gone completely jobless. So anything you can assist with there is awesome. And what else? Oh, I do live in too. I'm doing my first, really, it's pretty official with Thomas because he is such a willing participant. It just kind of like evolved into this. I go, I do this as a service where I live with people and actually be with them and help them see through their illusions and get more freedom and everything like that. And he's like, I'm completely in. And he is. And I'm seeing too what it requires. It's like there's this willingness to surrender to whatever it is that I'm bringing to the table, and a real sweetness. And also, he's very supportive, very generous, makes this space for me twice a week. Uh, he buys food. He takes me out to nice places, and we have a really fun time going to a lot of A Course in Miracles meetings. We're going camping. We also study a lot together. We read every morning like clockwork. We're just both so enthusiastic about it. Um, and it's funny because even this morning he goes, "Are you planning on reading with me this morning?" I'm like, "Of course I am. Totally." Well, but we don't just read, we go deep. We have little deep dives every morning, and we've been going back and forth between A Course in Miracles and A Course in Love. And he also helps me with my um, daily lesson every night. He's on the recordings on the daily lesson. And yeah, we're having a great time. I'm seeing him transform right before my eyes, physically, even, in the physical sense, just more youthful. Even the posture is different. Um, I'm helping him out with food because his food situation was hilarious. He was basically just eating a bunch of chemicals. I'm like, you could have a way better time than this. Like, it's actually pretty indulgent. He's been indulgent to the ego, but really, it feels real nourishing and juicy, good, and even erotic when you have this really nice food that you're totally enjoying, and even just enjoying yourself in the moment and sharing with him how to be, really juicy and orgasmic within everything that we seem to be doing. Like, because that's how it is. I mean, even just sitting here and enjoying your breath and enjoying the fluctuations of your body's energy field and just being really juicy with everything you seem to be doing, and getting out of that mindset that says life is some kind of sacrifice, that you have to do some kind of sacrificing and make it be like boring and dry and brittle, like go through. And seeing, and his openness and his willingness to see so clearly that there is only innocence and there's nothing that can take that away, and to see through these different patterns that say something is wrong, that say I'm bad, I'm wrong, even patterns that say I wish that this person would see me like this. It's like, man, when you recognize that's a pattern, you're not one bit dependent on how anyone perceives you. It's like all power back to your mind. Now, you resign as as their teacher, you resign as your own teacher. You just let the Holy Spirit take care of it all. And you just have a good ass time all through life. And that becomes your demonstration. Even all of the people around you, they're affected by this. They're affected by your willingness to see only innocence in them, in you, in every single circumstance. See only love and wholeness. And you're just going through life laughing like a child because you know everything's taken care of and orchestrated for you. So we're both enjoying the transformation here, and that's something you can sign up for on my website. You can have me for one day or as long as you want. Well, we'll see. Holy Spirit willing. I don't know. So you can check it out over on hopejohnson.org. Also, I have a blog over there. I'm blogging these. Actually, AI is doing it for me. AI is actually taking this whole talk and giving a summary on it about it that's really good. It's actually giving you a really good, quick thing that you can read. You can probably read about the whole show, all the points that I'm pointing out in about 10 minutes if you go to my blog on my website. Because AI just takes everything that's important. I give it a lot of filler, there's all kinds of laughing and cussing and stuff. AI just puts it all out. Really good blog posts. I'm just having them posted to my blog now. So that's another thing you can find there. All kinds of cool shit over there. hopejohnson.org. All right. I love you. Thank you. Have a beautiful couple days if you're joining me again on Wednesday. Otherwise, until next time, yay. Mahalo, aloha, and a hui ho. Yay. Thank you, everyone.